Imagine this. The very cousin who mocked me for being too poor to ever own a home suddenly finds out on the happiest day of her life that the wedding venue she's bragging about belongs to me. That's exactly what happened, and trust me, the look on her face was worth every insult she ever threw my way. If you've ever been underestimated, laughed at, or treated like you'd never make it, this story is going to hit home. So hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up. Because this is one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll ever hear. You know, family gatherings are supposed to be warm, full of laughter, food, and silly stories that get told 100 times. At least, that's what I wish they were for me. But in my family, dinners often turned into stages for comparison, judgment, and the occasional humiliation. And my cousin Melissa, she was the queen of it. Beautiful, confident, sharp-tongued. She loved to put others down if it made her look taller. And unfortunately, I was always her favorite target. At this particular family party, the wine was flowing, the music humming in the background, people chatting in the living room. I was just trying to blend into the corner, sipping my soda. But then, it happened. Melissa spotted me, and with that smirk she always wore before taking aim, she raised her voice loud enough for everyone to hear. "Hey, when are you finally going to get your own place? Or are you planning to live in that shoebox apartment forever?" The laughter started before I could even respond. I felt the heat rise in my cheeks, my hands tightening around the glass. I opened my mouth. But before I could speak, she cut me off. "Oh wait, silly me, I forgot. You're too poor to ever own a real home." The room erupted, not everyone, but enough. Enough that the sound felt crushing, drowning me. I wanted to disappear, but instead, I forced a weak smile, pretending it didn't hurt, but it did. God, it did. I excused myself, stepped outside, into the cool night air. And right there, under the porch light, I made myself a promise. I wouldn't fire back with words. That's what she wanted. Instead, I would prove her wrong in a way she would never forget. Fast forward a few months, I was working tirelessly, every late night, every early morning, every sacrifice. Her words echoing in my head, too poor to own a real home. And then, fate handed me an opportunity. A local event venue, beautiful, historic, grand, the kind of place people dream of getting married in, was up for sale. And guess what? I had the money, not just enough to scrape by, but enough to buy it outright. So I did. I signed the papers, shook the broker's hand, and walked out as the proud new owner. But here's the twist. Guess who had already booked her wedding there? That's right, Melissa. I could have been petty, canceled her booking. But no, revenge is best served cold. And I wanted her to feel every degree of it. The wedding day came. The venue glowed with white roses and golden candles. Melissa, radiant in her gown, soaking in the attention. And then, the moment arrived. Just before the reception started, the event manager, who now worked under me, stepped up to the microphone. "Before we continue, we'd like to thank the new landlord of this beautiful venue. Without him, tonight's celebration wouldn't even be possible. Please welcome." And then he said my name. The room went still, heads turned, glasses froze mid-air. And Melissa? Her smile collapsed like a sandcastle hit by a wave. Her eyes darted, searching for an escape. But it didn't matter. Everyone was already clapping. For me, I didn't gloat. I didn't rub it in. I just smiled politely. gave a small nod, and sat back down. But inside, I felt years of humiliation dissolve. Every insult, every sneer, every laugh, gone, replaced with the sweet, indescribable satisfaction of knowing I had won. Melissa once said I was too poor to own a home, yet here she was, celebrating her wedding day, in a home I owned. And the best part? It wasn't even her face. It was the silence after, the shift in the room. People who once laughed at her jokes, mine, suddenly weren't laughing anymore. Some even came over to congratulate me. It was poetic, her moment of glory, stolen by her own cruelty. Sometimes the sweetest revenge isn't loud. It isn't shouting or throwing it back. Sometimes the sweetest revenge is quiet, calm, letting your success speak louder than their insults ever could. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button. Drop a comment. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And don't forget to subscribe, because trust me, there are plenty more stories just like this coming your way.